Welcome back to Ladies of Another View, and I want to welcome back our guest, Demetrius Miner. He's a member of Project 21, which is a network as part of the National Center for Public Policy Research, that's a mouthful, that really wants to get Black leaders out in the media, speaking up and putting forth good family values. Welcome back, Demetrius.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
I want to dive right into an article I saw that you wrote on Nancy Pelosi has a problem with defund the police. What is that problem?
So not only does defund the police, the political jargon that has been used by the left and the progressive, not only does it have daunting political ramifications, but it's also going to be detrimental for the very communities that the left supposedly wants to represent. If you take away the presence of police officers, then you're taking away the very presence of help and resources that Black communities need in time of trouble, in time of crisis. I'm for police reform. I'm for increased accountability and transparency measures to be put into place, but defunding the police is not only reckless, but it's also it's not helpful, and quite frankly, it's not doable because again, defunding police is omitting the very presence of help and assistance that communities are going to need if trouble was to visit their neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm. You know, we see a lot of these videos of people coming in and shoplifting and whole groups of people, and you think, number one, we need the police. Number two, hello, look down the road. Are those businesses going to continue to operate in your neighborhood? Probably not, because you don't have law and order, right?
Right. Well, I do want to say this. I understand the increased skepticism and pessimism that many people have towards the role of police officers, giving the many accounts of, I would say, police aggression that has occurred in the United States. So I don't think we should turn a blind eye or a deaf ear to that. However, I think leaders, especially those who are elected to serve on behalf of their districts and their communities, need to be mature and responsible when proposing policy solutions. And again, I know it's a very complex problem that calls for more dialogue, but defunding the police, which I do want to say is mostly those on the far left, the far progressive. I think that even establishment or mainstream Democrats aren't necessarily sold on that idea. But it's a nonsensical idea. It's a non-starter. And it's something that will only increase crime and make marginalized communities become even more vulnerable instead of making them more safe.
So I'm just going to kind of switch gears a little bit and kind of get into your ministerial side, I think, because, you know, when you hear of defund the police, you hear of all these things. And my understanding was, I think I read in your article that there were like 80% of the Black community did not want the police to be defunded, but they, you know, wouldn't mind seeing some changes. But when it gets right down to it, you know, we were just hearing some, even in, you know, in Tennessee now, they're saying you cannot legislate morality, and this is a problem of the heart. And, you know, what do you see as kind of the big picture of, or the small picture of, where do we start to build families? Because it seems like the families are being destroyed, and now we're seeing the ramifications of that. And how do you address that in your work?
Sure, that is a great question. So number one, I definitely, well, let me begin with this. Having an understanding of the divine order of governance, I think it's very important. And I believe it's as this. I believe that God is first, And then I believe that the family is second, and then the church. So understanding the significance of order and governance is paramount to understanding what the way forward looks like. I believe in strengthening the family. I believe in a strong presence of faith, such as faith-based institutions, churches, civic organizations, being there present for people in their time of need and in their time of growth. Because as we're raising children and as we're going through life, we're not meant to do it alone. We are built for community, and having community present in our lives ensures that we have a strong structure of safety, accountability, and transparency, not just through the bad, but also through the good, so that when people need help and when people are faced with tough situations, they don't have to navigate systems alone. So as a person of faith, I believe in having a strong knit community of believers that we're able to lean upon in those tough times. And I believe that that strong community is more efficient and more effective than dependency upon government.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Yeah.
Demetrius, thank you for the work you're doing and for speaking out, because it really shows about you. You know, you are serving God and you care about family and communities. So you're not just sitting around being quiet. So thank you so much for joining us today.